Okay, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning,
Good
ma'am.
morning, ma'am.
Morning,
Good
ma'am.
morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay, good morning. So today we will be discussing the first unit of first aid. Okay, so you can if you want, you can write it down the syllabus. Did I send you all about the syllabus? Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
Okay, okay, okay.
Ma'am, do we
Yes.
need a practical copy from first aid?
Yes, yes, you need practical copy for first aid.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Can you see the screen? All of you, can you see the screen?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
If it is not visible, you please inform me, okay, beforehand. Okay.
Ma'am, you share the notes by PDF, right?
Yeah, I'll be sharing the notes to you all. But still, like while I'm explaining also, if you like want to write it down, then also you can write it down. But besides that, I will be sending the notes. So first of all, today, as we will be like discussing the first unit of first aid, okay? So any one of you have any idea regarding the first aid? Any one of you? You can just share your point of view if it is not the exact definition also, like any idea? Anyone?
I mean, any type of accident or something like that can prevent the first aid.
Okay, 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 very good. Okay, what about other? What about?
Basic medical care, ma'am.
Yes, it is a medical care which we may, it is a primary, secondary or tertiary. Which type of care it is? ये जो फर्स्ट एड है ये इंजरी होने के साथ साथ देना है या फिर it is given after like medical treatment or it is given at the earlier phase?
Earlier stage, ma'am.
Earlier stage, ma'am.
Okay, that means you all have idea regarding the first aid, no? So okay, so you can just write it down as definition. Okay, so the heading, just you can write the definition, and regarding the notes I'll be sending you also. It's writing, if anyone want to write it down, then you can write it down. It depends on you. So let us discuss the definition. Okay, so what is first aid? First aid, it is the temporary and immediate treatment. Okay, it is not the permanent. Okay, it is just a temporary treatment or a kind of immediate treatment. Okay, which is mainly given to a person who is injured. Okay, who is injured or suddenly become ill. By using facilities or any kind of materials, okay, that is available at the time before regular medical help is imparted. Imparted means before this regular medical help is given. Okay, imparted means given. So let me repeat again. Okay, ये जो first aid है, this is the temporary. Okay, not the permanent. This is the temporary treatment which is given immediately. Okay, once a person is injured, then it is immediately given. Okay, immediately treated, given to a person who is injured, or you can like, or suddenly become ill. If a person suddenly become ill, the illness might not be like that, it might not be the fever, it might not be, or it might be the fever, it might be road traffic accident, any kind of illness. Okay, if a person like suffer from any kind of illness or get injured, then this is the first primary treatment that is given. Okay, you can use any kind of facilities that you have. So obviously you will be having a first aid kit box, right? So in that first aid kit box, if any kind of materials are available that can treat illness, then you can apply that. And using facilities. Here, facilities means what? Facilities means if there is a nearby health center, if there is a nearby sub-center, if there is a nearby first aid room, then in all those you can just like give immediate treatment, okay, to the victim or to the injured person. So before you refer that person, to the injured person, to the for regular medical treatment. So are you clear with the first aid definition?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. If you have any doubts, like you just ask me on the spot itself so that I can repeat again and again. So this definition, okay, when we talk about definition, okay, when we talk definition is something that you cannot make up. Okay, ये हम खुद ब खुद by heart करके memorize करके या फिर like make up करके ऐसा नहीं लिख सकते. ये definition का मतलब ही पूरा exact लिखना है. ये don't ever get like confused regarding this, and don't even try to make up also. Like you can make up the notes and all, okay, but जब definition आते हैं, that means it's like copy paste. You just can't like make up. Are you clear? All of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's move
Yes,
on.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next we will be discussing the objectives of first aid. So I want all of you to share your point of view. What is the meaning of objectives? Any one of you? Objectives. Objective का मतलब क्या है? First aid का objective. Objectives का मतलब क्या है? What is objective? It might not be the correct, but anyone, any point of view? Any one of you? You can just share it. Objective का
A
मतलब
desired result, ma'am.
result. Okay, okay, partially correct. What about other? Any one of you?
Goals, ma'am.
Yes, yes. Okay, okay. That's correct. Objective means you can like, what to say? You can simply also call it as aim. Okay, aims and objective, you know, right? So objective, you can also consider it as aim. What is your aim? Okay, in this, what is your aim in, what is your aim or your purpose for first aid? That is what you need to study. So first of all, what is our aim? What is our objective? Okay, so that number one is to preserve life. So this is the first objective, that is to preserve life. So what do you mean by preserve? Preserve. To preserve life. This is our objective, right? ये first aid में ये हमारा objective है. To preserve life. Life को preserve करना है. तो ये सबसे पहले objective है. तो ये preserve का मतलब क्या है? What is the meaning of preserve? Preserve.
Save, ma'am.
Yes, very good. So to preserve life means that will be your objective. You will try to save the life. You will try to reduce any kind of pain, okay? And you will try to minimize the threat of death, okay? So सब कुछ minimize, reduce, save life, सब कुछ ये preserve के अंदर पे आते हैं. So that is to preserve life. So are you clear, all of you? The first objective.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So we will not run and like try to complete the course and all. Okay, we will discuss one by one slowly. Next is to prevent further injury and deterioration of the condition. So the second objective is we will try to prevent any kind of further injury that can occur, and also if there is any deterioration of the condition, okay, we will try to prevent it. So do you want to ask anything in the second point? Though it is very clear, but anyone have any confusion in the second objective?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Jiban, what is the meaning of deterioration? What is the meaning of deterioration?
Worse, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Very good. So the process of becoming like worsen, the injury might become worse. So that is the second point. So you have to try to prevent all those things. So coming to the third point, that is to make the victim as comfortable as possible to conserve strength. So the third objective, it says that we will try to make the victim, okay, as comfortable as possible, okay. So if you make the victim comfortable, then what happens is that he or she will like help in conservation of his or her strength. So what does this victim stand for? Who is the victim in the first aid? victim का मतलब क्या है? Anyone?
Injured person, ma'am.
Yes, very good. The
Motive.
injured, yes. Okay, the injured person. Okay, so our second objectives will be what? We will try to make the injured person, okay, as comfortable as possible. So, and in order to conserve his or her strength, that is the third objectives. So coming to the fourth objectives, okay, we have to put the injured person under professional medical care at the earliest. So this is mainly the main objective that we have to give focus on, okay. We have to put the injured person under professional medical care at the earliest. So obviously if the victim, if the injured person condition is very much worse, okay, so for that condition, the earliest, the primary treatment, that is the early treatment, is very much essential. So in that case, we have to directly refer to the hospital or to any nearby nearby healthcare center, might be the sub-center, might be the PHC, might be the CHC, anywhere. So the earliest medical care is very much essential, okay. So to reduce the any kind of illness. So are you clear with the four objectives? All of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, coming to the five objectives, the 5 point, that is to pass on relevant information to the emergency service or to the person who take responsibility for the casualty. So casualty, don't get confused between the victim, between the injured person, between the casualty. Don't get confused between these three, okay? Because these three are the similar term. Victim means injured person means casualty. So you can call it in any kind of all this name. So we have to pass on relevant information to the emergency services, okay? Or else to the person who take responsibility for the casualty. This is also the another objective that we can find. So are you clear with the 5 points? If no, you can ask the question. Are you clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if I ask you the objectives, will you be able to say? It's very simple and it's very easy to understand, okay? If I ask you, all of you, will
Yes,
you be able to answer everything?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Okay, that's the objectives, okay? Next, let us discuss about the principle. Principle is also something that you cannot make up, okay? Jo hai, wo hai, you can't make it up. So principle, so let us discuss the first principle, okay? You will find 7 principles. So the first principle is restoration, respiration. So restoration, respiration. So what do you mean by restoration, respiration? Anyone have any idea? From the name itself, restore or restoration, respiration. Do you know what is respiration? Any one of you? You are
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what is respiration? Any one of you?
Circulating of oxygen in the body, ma'am, and releasing carbon dioxide.
Okay, good. Okay, so restoration, respiration. So you will try to some people might have less amount of like oxygen and all now. So and then there is, we call it as hypoxia. So in that case, what happened is that our main principle would be like we would try to restore the respiration. Okay, the level of oxygen, the normal level of oxygen should always be maintained. So that should be our like principle. Okay, the first principle, because some victim or some injured person might have like difficulty in breathing. Okay, there might be SOB, that is shortness of breath, all those things. So in that case, what happens is that we will always try to restore the respiration by using this artificial oxygen or any kind of process, okay, that is available. So we will use that. That is the first principle. So coming to the next, control bleeding. So all of you know now what is bleeding? I guess I don't need to explain. All of you know now
Yes,
what is bleeding?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so our next principle would be our next principle is to control bleeding. Okay, so that was the second point. The third is the principle is to treat shock as well as care unconscious. Okay, we'll treat shock and care unconscious. Okay, because when there is like what happened is that when there occurs a road traffic accident and also because of excessive bleeding or something like that, no? So the person might lead to shock or to unconscious. So as early as possible, like we would try to treat the shock patients as well as and care for the unconscious. So do you know what is shock? SHOCK, shock. Any one of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Say shock is what?
Very surprised, ma'am. Terrified.
Can you please say again?
Very surprised, ma'am.
Oh, that treat shock, that okay, here this shock is okay. ये जो यहाँ पे जो shock है ना, this shock is what it happens when this shock occur. It is, we simply call this shock as the life-threatening condition. Okay, इंसान मर भी सकता है, like it can be the life-threatening condition. Okay, so this shock, it mainly occur, okay, when our body is not getting enough blood flow. Okay, हमारा शरीर पे जब enough blood flow नहीं होता, तब that can lead to shock. Okay, so that is known as shock. If you like want to write it down, you can just write it down, the meaning of shock. You can just write down, it is a life-threatening condition which mainly occur when the body is not getting enough blood flow. You can write down. I'll ask you all later on. Or you can just simply write sudden drop in the blood flow. It depends on you how you want to write down. Are you done, all of you?
No, ma'am.
Okay, you write down. Because when I ask you next time, don't ever say that, ma'am, you had never explained the meaning. Because you have to treat shock, right? So if you don't know the meaning of shock, how will you try to treat it? So write down, it is a life-threatening condition that occurs when the body is not getting enough blood flow. Done, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
So what do you mean by unconscious? Because you have to care for unconscious also, na? So you need to know the meaning. So what is unconscious? Just share your idea. Gayatri, what is unconscious? Gayatri, what is unconscious?
Ma'am, to lose consciousness.
Okay, very good. Okay. So those who like don't know the meaning of unconscious, okay, the meaning is that what happened is that when we are unable to respond to people, okay, like suppose people like someone talk to you and then like calling your name, suppose your name is like Dhiraj, like they call you and then like you could not respond back to the people, okay, and you could not perform any kind of activities, okay, that it shows that you are unconscious. So if you are in that state of condition, then that is known as unconscious. So all these things mainly occur, okay, when you are injured, when there is like accidents and all, it mainly occur. So this kind of treatment also or care also you need to provide, okay. So this is the third principle that we need to follow in first aid. So are you clear with the 3 principles till now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next is fracture. This is also another principle, fracture. So what do you mean by fracture?
Breaking of bones, ma'am.
Yeah, yes, fracture means it's like cracking or like you're breaking of your bones, okay. It mainly occur when, I should ask this question mainly to the boys, when does it mainly occur, fracture? Any one of you?
Bike
Accidents.
accident, ma'am.
Yes, well, accidents, okay, well, with a long drive, a speed drive, and mainly this occurs, okay, there is like break in the bone, all these things occur. So all those care also, immediate care, early care, all those we need to provide, okay. So that is the reason why that breaking of all those things, all those fracture care is required, okay, in a person in a first aid. That is why it comes under the principle. So coming to the next is burn. So burn, what do you mean by burn? Burn are also different types, okay. Much detail about it is not required for you all, but I just want to say that there is a first degree burn, there is a second degree burn, there is a third degree burn, there is a different kind of burn, okay, which is being calculated in percentage. So any one of you have any idea what is burn? Burn?
Getting scorched, ma'am.
Okay, means when your body get inflamed, it's not it, when inflamed because
Yeah,
of
ma'am.
like fire, because of the heat, and again because of any kind of like materials, okay, which damage or injure your like skin or your like any kind of your like body part, okay, that is known as burn. So for if fire occurs somewhere else, and if someone is injured there, okay, if someone's skin is totally burned or something like that, okay, then what happens is that there also you need to provide immediate treatment, immediate care. First aid treatment is also very much essential. So we should not only focus on the fracture, we should not only focus on the bleeding, restoration of respiration shock, we should also focus on the burn. Which is why it comes under the principle. So next, multiple injuries. So what do you mean by multiple injuries? Multiple injuries. नाम सुन के multiple सुन के ही पता चलता है. What is multiple injuries? Anyone? If you share your point of view, it is very much like, interesting to explain also. It shows that you have an idea. What is multiple?
Many injuries.
Ma'am, to have lots of injury in one time.
Yeah, yes, very good. Okay. Multiple injury means like having injury, okay, in like at one time, okay, you are having a multiple injury. So you might have a burn as well, which is accompanied by fracture, which is accompanied by like bleeding, or like your you have a fracture as well as like what happened is that means injury doesn't only like relate to burn this and all of, so okay, it doesn't relate only that also. Injury means like it also comes falling from the building, all this, any kind of injury that occurs in in your body, okay, like multiple injury that occur in your body, that is known as multiple injury. So this is also like it comes under the principle of first aid. Next is transportation. What is transportation? Transportation? Transportation. What is transportation? Anyone?
Moving from one place to another, ma'am.
Moving from one place to another. So what do you mean by transportation in first aid? Gayatri and
Ambulance, ma'am.
Gayatri and Jivan, please take any one of you take attendance, okay? There are only 9 minutes left.
Okay, ma'am.
Transportation meaning in first aid.
Moving of the patient, ma'am.
Yes, yes. So in first aid, like to move the patient or to move the victim, what type of like transportation we mainly use in this nowadays generation?
Ambulance, ma'am.
Ambulance.
Yeah. Any other?
PCR, ma'am.
Have you heard stretcher? Stretcher?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so we need to transport the victim, okay, or the injured person to any kind of like medical facility with the help of the stretcher, with the help of ambulance, all these things. So these are the transportation. So this is also like the first aid treatment that you can give to a injured person, okay? So these are the 7 principles, which is very much important, okay? This principle you cannot make up. So are you clear, all of you? Whatever we have discussed today? Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yes, yes. So, so today we have discussed about the definition, about the objectives, about the principles. So are you clear these three subheading, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, actually at one time, no need to discuss so many things, okay? So we will discuss slowly and steadily. So Jivan, Gayatri, are you done with the attendance?
Yes, ma'am. Done.
Okay.
Ma'am, today we'll take the practical class in the evening.
Yes, yes, I'll be taking the class today. Practical, okay. Who is this Mayborn? Mayborn, can you hear me? Mayborn, can you hear me? Mayborn, can you hear me? I guess he joined, but he's absent, I guess. Okay.
Ma'am, we totally can't hear anything.
Shalin, what did you say?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, yes. Say.
Ma'am, Mayborn cannot hear anything.
Oh, is it? There is any like what?
Yes, ma'am.
Any problem in his phone or else?
Ma'am, I don't know.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so so these three when I will be having the first aid class again, okay? At that time, like I will be asking you all this, the principle, the definition, and the objectives, okay? So all of you study this. So whatever I have completed, okay, like explaining, you please keep on studying on that particular day itself so that it won't be vast. And if there is anyone like facing difficulty in linguistic problem, like if anyone is facing problem in understanding the English, or if you want me to explain in Hindi or whatever it is, like you can just say me personally, okay? So that while I explain, I can explain in English as well as in Hindi, because everyone is not same, no? Some can understand easily, some might face problems. So is it okay, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, then that's all for today class. Okay, thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
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 Thank
Thank
you,
you,
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.